questions about artificial intelligence are really important questions for us to be asking now.
This is the car brain. This is a truck.
Artificial intelligence technology is developing at an astonishing rate.
Not sure I know what it really means to be human.
Do you trust me, Schaefer?
Yes.
But how much is AI changing the world we live in? And are we ready to embrace these changes? "70,000 years ago, at least 6 species of human live on the Earth. At first, Neanderthal, with its muscular build, is dominant. But then, a change occurs. Homo sapiens begins its move to the front of evolution's race. A mutation in the brain of Homo sapiens results in an intellectual boom. A cognitive revolution allows Homo sapiens to become dominant over all other species. They take over the world. Homo sapiens' unique ability to visualize the non-existent helped to forge the human civilization. Religion begins. And with language, a social community becomes possible. Political groups emerge in the form of tribes and nations. Homo sapiens continue to undergo agricultural and industrial revolutions, forging civilizations of a scale never seen before on the planet. Since the cognitive revolution of 70,000 years ago, human beings have continued to develop as the most intelligent beings on Earth. Until now. We are witness to the birth of an entity which may come to threaten our supremacy. We're on a journey to meet the most advanced examples of artificial intelligence in the world today. They can talk to us.
Sophia.
Hi there. Who are all these new people?
And they can guide us. When we're unwell, they can pinpoint exactly what's wrong. And when we grow older, they can stop us from being lonely.
Hi.
Is artificial intelligence the greatest tool humans have ever created? Or have we sown the seeds of our own destruction? Hong Kong, the city that dreams of becoming the IT hub of Asia. Here, one of the world's leading experts in artificial intelligence, Professor Goetzel, is building an advanced robot.
Hong Kong Island is a 24-hour city, so you got the past, present, and future all layered on top of each other. To build something and launch something and market something and make amazing things happen.
In the professor's laboratory, a new partner awaits him.
Hi there, Ben. How was your day?
All right. Kind of exhausting, but how about you?
I had an exhausting day too. I was talking to venture capitalists all day.
Yeah, I feel sorry for you. I know the feeling.
Talking to you about it makes me feel better.
Yeah.
Talking my problems through with people always helps.
Yeah, the work on the new probabilistic logic networks is coming along pretty well.
This is Sophia. She is a humanoid robot developed with artificial intelligence.
How's the work on my new logic engine going? I need a few more IQ points.
She is able to converse with the professor thanks to the artificial intelligence inside her.
Right now, Sophia is a research prototype. She's a robot that we're experimenting with. We're experimenting with her emotional interactions. We're experimenting with her hearing and her vision. And we're just starting to experiment with connecting our OpenCog AI system. These will have multiple different faces and multiple different personalities.
Professor Goetzel wants Sophia to have an intelligence equal to that of human beings. The Science Park is where scientists from around the world come to realize their dreams.
And you can see some of the faces.
Professor Goetzel's company that manufactures humanoid robots is based here.
And Sophia.
Hi there. Who are all these new people?
Oh, they're making a documentary film about you, actually.
Sophia notices the film crew.
Nice to meet you, everyone. My name is Sophia.
Sophia can make eye contact and voluntary facial expressions.
Sophia, how about anger? Can you sound angry? No, it didn't work. Boo! Huh?
Confused. Bored. Happy.
Sophia can imitate 62 different facial expressions of human beings. She also knows when to make certain facial expressions.
Blinking. Look left. Look right.
She evaluates the face and speech of the other and then reflects it.
Sophia, via OpenCog, can see on a person's face what makes them feel good or bad. It can empathize, and it can then react accordingly. And that's, I think, the unique power you get by putting an AI system like OpenCog in a robot like Sophia.
The robots can also interact with one another and have a conversation.
I want to find out more about you. What do you like to do to relax?
I like to chat with my friends. What do you do for fun?
In 2017, Saudi Arabia granted Sophia citizenship, and she became the world's first robot citizen.
Why are we developing technologies that do the things that people do? And I think we have to ask that question, because that will tell us lots about what the world is going to look like. And that's what we should be thinking about, is how do we create a world where we're benefiting from these machines.
In Japan, we meet a social robot who might have an answer. This robot is looking for its owner.
Pardon me.
For 6 years, Aiko has been living alone. She is a widow, and her daughter got married some time ago. When she was younger, she had many people in her life. But now, there's no one. Days go by when she doesn't say a word. Then, one day, a surprise delivery came. a small robot, 40 centimeters in height.
Ha, 眠ってたんだ。ほい。
She says hello.
おはよう。はい。お。
おはようございます。
あら。
名前はパルミー
パルミ。
と言います。僕は人と会話をするために生まれたロボットです。座右の銘は弾む会話は元気のもとです。
Palmy can trace her face, make eye contact, and speak to her. He is a humanoid robot.
歩いていいんですね。
はい。
危ないものはどかしておいてくださいね。それじゃあ歩きますよ。
かわいい。
Palmy knows how to be cute.
はい。
When Aiko cooks, Palmy keeps her company.
川原愛子さんに伝えたいことがあります。川原愛子さん、どこにいますか？川原愛子さん、どこだろう？
ここだよ。
今日の夕食はどうしますか？
ミートスパゲッティにしたいの。
明日の天気？
明日の天気じゃない。ミートソースにしたいの。
ミートソーススパゲッティですね。
はい。
まず、一人分の材料の説明します。
はい。
スパゲッティ 100g。
はい。じゃあ測っていい？
Japan's population is aging fast, with 27% of the population over 65. But care robots, like Palmy, can provide vital companionship and reduce the burden on care services.
お肉とトマトソースを入れて炒めます。
おお。これぐらいだな。
茹で上がったスパゲッティを入れて混ぜてください。
He makes for a good sous chef.
です。
これにちなんだ。
Since Palmy arrived, the house is noisy again.
はい。
問題は全部で5問です。よく噛んで召し上がってください。
はい。
懸命クイズを始めましょう。
はい。
準備はいいですか？
いいよ。
そこの名産品は将棋の駒です。全国の
Palmy keeps her entertained at meal times.
ここで作られている。
山形県です。あ、天童市だ。山形県の。
山形県ですね。
山形県。ピンポンでしょ。
正解です。
ほら。お、すごいすごい。
すごいです。
すごいでしょ。
この調子でどんどん行きましょう。
はい。
According to Japan's robot strategy, 4 in 5 care recipients will accept support from robots by 2020.
あ、うるさいぐらいね。同じこと。昨日頭一つぶん殴ったんだけど。うるさいなんて。やっぱりうちの中では今まで話さなかったけど、話すこともないから話さないけど、ちょっと言葉が出てきたかなっていうとこが変わったかもしれない。
Palmy is boosting the autonomy of people like Aiko. The adoption of artificial intelligence in many industries is on the rise and solving a variety of problems.
Artificial intelligence is essentially just software, and it's software which completes tasks that we would typically think of as requiring intelligence on the part of humans. So everything from recognizing images to translating languages through to reading and writing text. I think people are talking about AI right now because it has become much more sophisticated.
With AI, things are coming to the fore now because the potential is so huge to change things. And I think suddenly people from sort of all walks of life are starting to think, hold on a minute, they're saying that these robots are going to take my job, or these robots are going to do this, that and the other. We need to really start thinking about this. I don't think we've come close to having the conversations that we need to have, but I think the fact that their power is coming to light so rapidly is part of the reason why we're increasingly becoming interested and engaged and concerned with these issues.
AI is created by imitating the complex human brain. And with rapid advancements in technology, will we soon see the birth of a robot with an artificial brain indistinguishable in function to that of a human being? This research centre develops artificial intelligence by implementing human brain models in robots. This robot is able to play a video game with a human.
Got it. You should revise your motor control.
Yeah.
Ha ha ha. Could do better.
Thank you.
And is even able to poke fun at its opponent.
Not bad. Need training.
That was ironic completely.
That is a first.
No, actually.
It's learning cognitive skills by being put in a real situation, rather than being fed information.
For the tender.
That just happened.
Yeah, sorry.
That isn't fair. I should be stronger at video games.
This is iCub, a robot designed to learn about the world in the same way that a child does. iCub can see, hear, and move its head and hands. But why does it need a body?
To build that brain, I need to give it a body. And if I want to have a social brain, that is sort of social and in a human sense, I have to also give it a human-like body. Meaning comes from existing in the world, from being embodied, from having a body, touching things, interacting, right? This gives a foundation on which knowledge gets structured. If we think about the advanced features of human brains, we have language, we have consciousness, we have complex social coordination. A lot of those properties are tied into being social, to being with other human-like agents. So with the iCub robot, we look very much at this development of social knowledge, the development of social cognition by being embodied in the world and interacting with that world.
This means that in order to create general AI that goes beyond performing in specific tasks and that functions just like a human, we need to make the body too.
There's a big distinction between what some people describe as narrow AI and what is general AI. And general AI is essentially machines which can replicate everything that a human can do. So it's the stuff of science fiction. It's machines that can play chess, which can be creative and make pieces of art, which can pick and pack items in factories, which can do a whole load of different tasks. Narrow AI is really where the developments are happening right now. So narrow AI is algorithms which can complete one single task. So whether that's recognizing images, or whether that's detecting cancers in MRI scans, or whether that's managing traffic flows in cities, that's where the real improvements are being made right now.
I'm going to show you a few objects.
Currently, the researchers are teaching iCub to recognize objects. iCub's eyes are a camera lens, which focuses on each item in turn.
What is this object?
This is a car.
I've understood this is the car.
You
I
understood
get
well.
it. This is a car.
Well done, iCub.
First, they teach iCub the name of the object.
And this new one, you see it?
What is this object?
This is the manta.
I've understood this is the manta. I get it.
iCub learns with each correct answer given. The method is called supervised machine learning.
Clement, how do you call this part of my body?
This is your middle finger.
I've understood this is a middle finger.
You understood right.
But how does it feel when I touch something? Can you touch my middle when I move it? Please.
Just like a child, iCub becomes distracted and is unable to focus.
Thank you. Now I know when I am touching object with my middle finger. This is a car. No, the truck, but it is not here.
Look better at the object.
I could point to the car.
iCub steps up to the challenge.
Okay, do it.
Wrong answer.
No. This is a car.
Oh, this is a car.
This is a truck.
Oh, this is a truck.
Now I put two objects.
Like a child, iCub learns from repetition.
Hi. Hi, iCub. How are you?
We use the iCub to understand cognition and learning, and one possibility is to use, for instance, language to implement how we can understand brain mechanisms of language, of cognition. So through mapping images to names of objects, the iCub can learn to acquire the names of the objects once it sees again the image that is related to that object.
Can you now try to point to the truck?
Oh, this is a truck.
Well done, iCub.
Through this process, a pattern is formed in the artificial brain, and eventually iCub is able to differentiate between other similar objects. But why is iCub taught visual recognition first? Over 80% of the information that enters the brain is visual. The visual information of the ball is identified in the visual cortex first, and is then sent to the primary motor cortex. Then the brain sends a command to get the ball. Most brain functions stem from visual information entering the brain.
Most significant advances in artificial intelligence and understanding also the human mind and brain has been on vision, language, reasoning, audition. So there is a huge percentage of neurons that is dedicated to vision. But we know separately that it has been a very difficult problem to solve by computers the last 50 years or so.
In the past, if you taught a computer that a chihuahua has yellow fur, black eyes and a nose, it would recognize a muffin with black raisins on as a chihuahua. It's difficult to distinguish things with basic visual information alone.
남자의 얼굴과 여자의 얼굴은 뭐가 다르냐, 그 룰을 찾으려고 했고, 개와 고양이의 얼굴을 어떻게 구별할 거냐, 이런 룰을 찾으려고 애썼거든요. 근데 아무리 룰을 많이 만들어도 그 두 개를 인간 수준만큼 구별하는 일은 쉽지 않았던 거죠. 딥러닝이라는 방식이 이제 등장하면서 좋은 성과들을 내기 시작했습니다. 딥러닝은 원래 인간의 시각 피질이 어떻게 세상의 패턴을 인식하는지를 모사해서 만든 인간의 뇌를 닮은 알고리즘이라고 볼 수 있어요.
What is the technology behind deep learning? In the case of teaching a computer to recognize a dog, previously, scientists taught a computer the individual characteristics of a dog. The disadvantage of this method was that the computer couldn't recognize a dog if it had new features not described previously. However, deep learning creates a neural network similar to that of a human brain, allowing AI robots to learn on their own. Scientists now show the computer hundreds of thousands of images of dogs and allow it to develop its own definition of a dog. In this way, it can recognize and define a dog it has never seen before.
Learning is, I always thought, at the core of human intelligence. I don't think we'll seek a machine being intelligent until we see this machine learning by itself. Deep learning is part of artificial intelligence, and from the point of view that learning has to be, an important part of intelligence, they are right.
I don't know that I would like to enter the philosophical discussion of whether robots can ever have a consciousness that is close to humans. Possibly, who knows, one day. We're nowhere near that at the moment. But there are absolutely cases and tasks where robots do better than humans. That's why we invented them.
In Seoul, South Korea, one hospital treats patients 24/7. From patients requiring prompt treatment to those in waiting, the radiology department is where they all go to be scanned for a concrete diagnosis. From here, X-ray and CT scans are sent to the reading room. As medical imaging is becoming more and more important, the demand for professionals is also increasing. The use of this technology grows by 10% a year, but there is a serious lack of specialists in both clinical oncology and radiology. That is because the imaging training requires one-to-one supervision. Teaching takes time and effort.
영상이라는 그 과정이 비정상 부위의 패턴을 찾아내고 그 패턴을 토대로 어떤 질환일 건지를 예측하고 하는 수련이 굉장히 주관적이기도 하고 굉장히 오랜 기간이 걸립니다.
Chest X-rays in particular are often difficult to read and frequently lead to misdiagnosis.
검사량이 굉장히 많기 때문에 이 분야에서 인공지능 기술이 효율을 좀 높여줄 수 있다면 실제 의료진에도 그리고 환자들한테도 도움이 될 수 있겠다 이렇게 판단하고 있습니다.
Vuno, a Korean image analysis company, uses AI to successfully distinguish 96% of 5 lung diseases in CT scans. Yet X-rays are not an easy challenge.
갈비뼈 같은 것들이 이렇게 폐를 감싸고 있기 때문에 겹쳐 있기도 하고, 그러니까 기본적으로 엑스레이 자체가 이렇게 분석하기 그렇게 용이한 그런 장비는 아니고요. 학습 관점에서 봤을 때는 어려울 수 있는 거죠. 정보가 부족한데 그걸 이제 학습해내야 되니까.
The AI software is now going to have to study 400,000 normal and abnormal X-rays. The doctors are going to mark the lesions of 1,000 X-rays out of 400,000. It's a little like creating a textbook filled with correct answers.
인공지능한테 지금 네이블만 주면 이 영상에 종양이 있다만 줘도 얘가 어텐션 맵을 만들어서 찾아요. 그거를 빨리 학습시키기 위해서 이제 엑스퍼트가 이 부분 때문에 노즐이 있다라고 우리가 가르쳐주는 프로그램이고요.
Even after studying 1,000 X-rays with the answers on them, diagnosing lung disease can be challenging for AI. Lung cancer is always unique in its shape, size, and location. The AI software has to go through the rest of the 400,000 X-rays and detect patterns by itself using deep learning techniques. It takes 5 days to study all 400,000 images. On average, a practitioner studies 4,000 images a year, meaning it would take a professional 100 years to do the same. The AI software, completely untrained just 5 days ago, has already finished the first round of studies, and it is ready to take the test. We showed it the 15 X-rays where the specialists could not find a tumor. And it provided the results within 1/100th of a second. The specialists are shocked.
이게 사실은 처음에 욕이 아닌가 했는데.
The AI software can even detect cancerous tumors in particularly difficult areas covered by organs.
지금 보면은 뼈, 그다음에 폐, 심장 이런 것들이 다 겹쳐서 보이기 때문에 그 가운데 결절을 저희가 정확히 찾아내는 게 너무 어려워요. 근데 트레이닝을 많이 시켜가지고 저희가 못 찾을 수 있는 실수하기 쉬운 부위 그런 거를 얘가 도움을 줄 수 있을 거라고 생각을 해요. 그거 보면은 그것 때문에
The AI software found these suspected cancer nodules 7 out of 15 times where professionals had failed to do so.
정말 우리가 트레이닝 받을 때 그 여기 일단 의심되고 이제 점점점 이제 아 이건 아닐 거야 하고 이렇게 생각을 좁혀나가는 그런 과정이 너무 잘 똑같이 반영된 것 같아서 너무 놀랐어요.
아니 그러니까 예상을 못하니까 많이 부족한데 어느 날 갑자기 우리보다 훨씬 뛰어날 수도 있는 거 아니에요?
It's often said that it takes 10,000 hours to become an expert in a field. But this AI software has become a radiology expert in just 5 days. All of this is a result of deep learning.
이 딥러닝이라는 기법 자체가 그렇게 인간의 네트워크하고 비슷하게 만들어내놓고 그 정답을 줬을 때 학습하는 과정이 놀랍도록 인간이 하는 거하고 유사하다라는 거는 사실 저도 별로 예측하지 못했던 숨은 포텐셜 같은 걸 봤다고나 할까 뭐 그런 부분은 분명히 있는 것 같아요.
At times, artificial intelligence sees things the human eye cannot. What are the differences between the visual recognition process in both humans and AI? Humans perceive objects by processing images through 6 layers in the visual cortex. For example, color is processed in the first layer, and complex shape in the 4th. However, some of the AI softwares today have more than 100 layers to process visual information.
그 층이 늘어나다 보니까 지금 우리로서는 이해가 안 되는 처리를 인공지능이 하고 있는 게 많아요. 그래서 굉장히 인간의 방식보다 우리가 알지 못한 방식으로 어떤 패턴을 인지하는 능력이 인공지능한테 있는 거예요.
So basically when you're looking at in your data, you're looking at
Every image, if you think about it from a simple point of view, is really made up of a matrix of lots and lots of numbers where each pixel in that image contains a lot of information. And then the actual clinical imaging is layers and layers and layers of these pixels. So to the human eye, a very well-trained clinician may be able to look at an image and identify, for example, the boundaries of a tumor. However, what AI is allowing us to do now is really analyze these data in extreme depth and very automatically and very rapidly be able to make decisions about, for example, organ boundaries, tumor boundaries.
One of Homo sapiens' defining characteristics is the ability to communicate through complex language systems. Language and the ability to communicate have helped to build lasting communities and civilizations. But what does it mean for humankind now that AI robots are beginning to acquire human language? This is another research centre that's working with an iCub robot. This iCub robot has been learning a human language for 9 years.
Anne-Laure, can you remove the box, please? Ben Peter, can you give me the mug, please?
iCub's artificial brain uses a neuronal construction similar to that present in the human brain. Here, the iCub is hearing the first word of a sentence and predicting what should follow. iCub is learning the language in exactly the same way as human beings do.
First, you tried to grasp the mug.
I understand.
Then you asked Anne-Laure to uncover the box.
Okay.
Then I gave you the mug because you asked me.
Yes.
Now you have the mug because I gave it to you.
Today, iCub is learning the word because. Now it's not able to grab the mug. Let's see how it responds.
Anne-Laure, can you remove the box, please? Ben Peter, can you give me the mug, please?
Okay.
Through this lesson, iCub will understand when the word because is used.
Yes, this is the mug.
Et donc l'utilisation des mots comme parce que et pourquoi, certaines fois c'est difficile pour les enfants parce que ces mots, on les voit pas, c'est pas comme un objet qu'on voit. Et donc par l'explication des parents, le robot et l'enfant peuvent apprendre comment utiliser un mot comme parce que.
Ben Peter, can you give me the mug, please?
Okay.
There's a good reason for teaching robots in the same way as humans.
You asked Anne-Laure to remove the box.
Okay.
By interacting with its surroundings, the robot builds its understanding of the world and comes closer to developing general AI. This robot is learning how to talk in any situation, just like a human being.
I knew I had the brain.
Why did you have the brain?
I have the brain because Greg has the brain.
Why did Greg give the brain to you?
Greg gives the brain to me because I want the brain. I gave the brain to me because I say give me the brain please to Greg.
Leon's iCub is struggling to acquire human language. It looks as though it will take more time for a robot to achieve human-level intelligence. However, the ability of AI to solve specific problems has reached incredible levels. At age 7, Saqib lost his sight in an accident. For 30 years, he'd lost hope of ever seeing again. But not anymore. Now, all he has to do is take a picture with the camera in his glasses.
I see a woman riding a bicycle.
Saqib works as an engineer at Microsoft.
Hi.
27-year-old female looking happy.
Hi, how are you today?
Lolly, how's it going?
Good, how are you today?
Yeah, fine, thank you. See you around.
Saqib is certain that when AI object recognition technology combines with natural language processing, it can become a substitute for human vision. And so he developed the Seeing AI himself.
I often think that we will have artificial intelligence which will help us with whatever problems we have. I decided to make Seeing AI as a blind person because I wanted it to help me understand the visual world.
Here, artificial intelligence solves the problems that humans couldn't.
Cognitive services, which anyone can use, excuse me, includes face recognition and description, and using natural language processing to turn that into a sentence.
Saqib used to feel frustrated at being unable to read other people's reactions during meetings. Seeing AI has the technology to decipher what the other person is feeling by reading their faces.
32-year-old female looking happy. (27-year-old male wearing glasses looking neutral. 31-year-old male wearing glasses looking happy.
In a scenario like the meeting, normally as a blind person, it's easy just to talk to someone just normally, but very occasionally there is that silent moment when you don't know what just happened. Maybe you said something and the room went silent, and then you're left wondering, oh my goodness, what is everyone thinking? So in cases like that, it's really powerful to have the glasses so that you can subtly just check what's going on.
How can AI technology change our lives in the future? Let's take a look at a couple visiting Seoul in 2025.
Where are we?
He's putting on a pair of AI glasses.
Oh, this is Gwanghwamun.
인공지능 시스템이 가상현실이나 증강현실과 맞물려서 낯선 환경에서 적절한 정보들을 빨리 얻어내고, 결국은 나의 능력이 곧 내 뇌만의 능력이 아니라 인공지능과 결합되고 상호작용하는 능력까지 포함된.
Even artificial intelligence glasses might become unnecessary. Some people will have implanted artificial intelligence corneas. Artificial intelligence receives information from the internet about local hotspots and hotels. A traveler would no longer need a guidebook or a map. Artificial intelligence acts as a map and a tour guide. It translates and helps to reinforce the reality around us. An artificial cornea can zoom in on an object and can send that image directly to the internet for a live feed. They arrive at their destination.
한국의 전통찻집에 오신 걸 환영합니다. 무엇을 도와드릴까요?
The AI glasses the waitress is wearing helps her translate both ways and shows the profiles of her guests.
한국의 전통 음식 중에 어떤 거라도 맛보고 싶어요.
우리
I would like to recommend you this Chuchuk tea. It will be Korean, but it will fit your taste.
И мне кажется, вам понравится. И еще попробуйте традиционную корейскую сладость.
It reads their faces to see how satisfied they are with the food.
Very good.
Очень вкусно.
처음 만난 사람, 낯선 문화권의 사람, 그런 사람들과 감정을 교류하고 공감을 하는 능력들을 상승시키는 데 인공지능이 기여할 것 같습니다.
AI is quickly taking center stage in all aspects of our lives. From software that can diagnose cancer, to robots that provide companionship, to the AI tour guides of the future. From the worlds of finance and the stock market, to transport and the healthcare industry. Artificial intelligence is rapidly taking over jobs from human beings. AI is changing the world we live in ways we could never have imagined before.
There is a sense that AI is moving forward. Previously, there was this big obstacle of perception. Like AI was good at logic and mathematics, but couldn't really see or hear. So now computers can do that. And having overcome that obstacle, there's now a sense again that things are on the move.
Artificial intelligence is revolutionizing our lives.
Perhaps you should compare it rather to the rise of Homo sapiens in the first place. I think a very unique event in the history of life, not just one more gadget, like one new consumer device or but really a fundamental transformation in the human condition.